Hey everybody, it's RJ, your host, and welcome to Hash It Out. In this episode, I'll be speaking with Harrison Baum of Daily High Club about the trials and tribulations of publishing cannabis-related content online on social media platforms that often censor, remove, shadow ban, or erase cannabis content, channels, and creators. We'll also discuss threading the needle of pop culture and corporate balance, the importance of staying connected to the community, particularly during a period of significant company growth, and more. Without further ado, let's hash it out. My guest today is the founder and CEO of the cannabis accessory subscription box company, Daily High Club. Welcome to the show, Harrison Baum. Hello, sir. I'm very, very excited to have you on.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. Excited to be here.
Of course, man. No worries. Now, first and foremost, where are you joining us from today in the wild world?
Yeah, I am in Santa Monica, California, in an Airbnb currently.
I love it. I hope the Wi-Fi holds up over at the Airbnb, man. Sometimes
Yeah,
it can be
it's been 7 out of 10, so hopefully it'll hold up.
Okay. That's like a what? That's like a C-. That sounds about
Yeah,
right.
that's about right.
I flew through school on C-, so it'll get the job
Same
done.
Same here.
I saw recently, I keep up with your social media. I saw recently that you were up in Mount Shasta recently. Beautiful views up there, man, this time of year.
Yeah, absolutely. One of my best friends is a ER doctor and moved up there, and I spent Thanksgiving with him and some of his friends, and yeah, it was a good time. I didn't know California just kept going like that, but yeah, it was really beautiful.
Yeah, it never stops. I think you said you drove something like 6 hours from wherever you were, like LA or Bay Area or whatever, to get up there. So, yeah, man. And you're originally from DC. I just recently realized. I'm originally from Michigan, so we're both on that side of the country over there. And yeah,
a mile outside DC, here, technically. The DC people will be like, "Oh, it doesn't count." So. Maryland.
Yeah,
but
right.
Yeah.
Okay. Still in the area.
Yeah.
But yeah, people do get pretty particular about the latitude and longitude of it all, man.
Yeah.
But hey, thanks so much for sitting down and having a conversation with me. I'm very excited, of course, to ask you about all you've got going on over at Daily High Club and everything else that you've got going on, and then some of the wider topics happening in the world of cannabis out there. I'm a big fan myself of Daily High Club. I've been keeping up with y'all for a while. But for those out there who may not be familiar, just offering a little information, a little background on Daily High Club. If I have all this correct, that would be great. But if I say anything wrong, please feel free to correct the record here. Daily High Club, from what I understand, started in 2015. And is, of course, an online marketplace and subscription box service company with over 1 million consumption accessories sold so far and over 15,000 subscribers. Now, I was reading a recent interview that you had done, I think, in 2020, so just last year. I understand that the idea of it all sort of stemmed from the $1 subscription boxes, like, the Dollar Shave Clubs of the world that, have quickly rose in popularity. So my question for you is one of a little bit of looking back first and foremost here is, tell me about the response that you got back in 2015, when you sort of announced that you were going to start this, industry first $1 cannabis subscription box, something that the industry hadn't seen before. And, looking back over the last over 6 years now, when did y'all feel sort of as a company that you had sort of hit your stride and you had sort of reached, I guess, that cruising altitude that some people like to talk about?
Yeah, so I originally had started it as a $1 subscription box, and I saw there were other subscription boxes out there and decided to add other price points too. And but the main focus was kind of on the $1. And I put the idea on Reddit. I got my first few hundred subscribers overnight. Ironically, most people went to the $12 subscription, which is not popular at all anymore, but at first that it was weird. People just kind of flocked to that one. And the company kind of grew from there. It honestly started with a bit of a bang, and then it slowed down and gave me some time to start packing boxes and figuring out how the hell to start a business. And then some random person on Reddit posted it hey, I got my stuff. And then it kind of blew up again. And then I was kind of in the same situation. And then after that, we had a little bit of a lull, and then a viral video Um, and then it kind of got a lot of traction from there, and then that died down. And then for the next like year, it took about 2 years total to really like figure out how to get a consistent customer base. Because at first it was just like something goes viral here, it's a big boom, and then there's not sales after that. So it never really happened overnight. It was just kind of a grind. And after about 2 years, I feel like we got into a flow. We moved out to LA. That was a really big turning point to be around all of the really influential people in cannabis. And yeah, that's kind of how it started and when we started getting our stride.
Right on. So it was about sort of like 2 years in where you finally sort of like felt like you were, finding your groove a little bit there. You mentioned that and what I've sort of seen based on like interviews that you've done and different publications, I think one of the great things that you've done over at Daily High Club is right away, sort of you had this emphasis on content creation and the value that brings not only to your marketing reach, but also to familiarize the people out there in this digital age about what y'all are up to,
Yeah.
of course. Yeah, I understand that Daily High Club, and they might be updated after I saw it last, but so far on Instagram has over 800,000 followers. I think you might even have more, and then over 5,000 followers on TikTok so far, which I think you've surpassed already.
Yeah, I think it's 100 something K on TikTok. I could be mistaken.
Wait, so okay, so you're at 100,000 on TikTok now?
Yeah, I thought it was like 140,000. Let me.
Sheesh.
We get
Where am I getting my
128,000.
numbers?
Yeah, we don't use it as we use it
Wow.
sparingly because all our
Snap.
shit just gets deleted.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, that's exactly what I want to talk to you about. Is you have certainly put a focus on the content creation and the digital marketing of it all, but I mean, you would of course know better than anybody that people in the cannabis world and even cannabis like accessory world, ancillary companies, anything like that, still face heavy scrutiny on the social media platforms. I understand that a lot of your content is usually comedy based, which is a great way to get the message out there. And I understand that even in college, when you were in college, you were named TBS's top 15 college comedians. And so that certainly plays a role in your priviness when it comes to content creation. I understand that
Top
in
16,
an interview.
just for the record.
Top
but
16. Okay,
Yeah.
top 16. Okay, right on. Now, in an interview you did recently with Culture Hub, you said that the evolution of you doing comedy certainly comes out in the content over at Daily High Club. Now, since the invention of social media, of course, cannabis and related content, like I said, has been often censored or shadow banned or removed from platforms. Now, this poses an ever-present challenge to content creators and companies when it comes to generating their online presence. So, over the past over 6 years now, tell me about what your journey over at Daily High Club has been in sort of almost swimming uphill in terms of trying to get this online content out to the people.
Yeah, it has definitely been a struggle at every turn. But yeah, we just try to make like unique content that people haven't seen before. It's either got to be informative, funny, or shareable. So we always try to make people laugh or make sure that they learn something. So yeah, I like to think that I used kind of the comedy and public speaking as a way to spread the message of the brand. As I said, we had a viral video that kind of put us on the map. It was #1 on Reddit's R videos on 420 in 2016, and then it got removed. But it was up for a bit. Yeah, after that, it was like everyone, like I started like wearing the shirt in like random cities that I'd go to, and people would be like, "Oh, cool, Daily High Club," and they'd actually recognize it. And like, so Reddit was something that other companies weren't utilizing, and it's a way to like really genuinely connect with people. I was just like very like straightforward and kind of vulnerable, just like, "Hey guys, this is my business. What do you think of it?" And most people were really receptive to it because they could see there was a lot of like. I was being very genuine, and I really used the Reddit community a lot myself and was part of it, and I would like comment on things, and I knew a lot of like the lingo and terminology, and no one else in cannabis was over there. So I'm super grateful for the Reddit community for helping me launch this. And I think we got one of our first sales ever on Massroots. It's like a social media platform that's not around anymore. But like, yeah, or the Instagram originally got deleted at like 700 followers, which took me months and was catastrophic. And I started it over, and it had been deleted again at like I think 500,000 followers. It was deleted like a couple times then, and then we got verified, and it's been totally fine since. Fingers crossed. But that took many years.
Right.
But yeah, and we can't do paid ads on like Instagram or Facebook or Google SEO. So we had to rely a lot on like blog content on the site and making new, fresh content for people. Originally I wrote a blog, Best Flavored Rolling Papers, and I tried all the flavored rolling papers, and then it was like first for flavored rolling papers, and I was like, oh my God, like this is potentially the beginning of something, because it's like that's just one small thing, but I was able to like be number one on Google for it. That was something. Those two things, like social media and SEO, really helped us grow a lot. And not just our own social media, working with like-minded influencers who fit well with the brand.
Totally. Well, knock on wood that y'all would keep that verified status and don't run into as many problems anymore. I wanted to ask you, because I, again, was looking at your social media prior to recording here, and I think it sort of lends itself just to the overall content discussion, because, you know, there are of course a multitude of sort of, I don't know, negative, if you want to say, or dangerous aspects to social media, but one of the great and prevailing benefits to social media is, of course, generating that community outreach, getting your message across, getting your, in this case, brand and company across, and really connecting with people and bridging that, you know, that physical distance divide, which, well, you know, has always been an issue prior to the digital age. Now, a lot of that sort of revolves around getting feedback from the people who are consuming or viewing your content. And I saw on your Instagram story today that you had some gripes, and I have similar gripes about the removal of the dislike button on YouTube. Just tell me, I'm just curious to hear what your thoughts are on that. How does that, in your view, sort of hurt more than it can help in terms of getting honest and genuine feedback on the content that you're creating?
Yeah, it's not as much for me about the content that we're creating. I mean, like it makes it so you could create shitty content and still make it look good, but it's more for me from like a learning perspective. Like when I started this, people were just like, "Oh, how'd you know how to like start a subscription box?" It's like you go to Reddit or you go to YouTube and you type in how to start a subscription box, and they tell you like, "Oh, use this service, use this service, use this for shipping, use this for finance," and it's like. Now, if you search that kind of thing, it's like there's a million videos that pop up, and there's no way you could go through the comments, but there's no way to like really easily and quickly distinguish what is good advice and what is bad advice. So that's something really frustrating that I think is going to hinder a lot of people being able to learn things. I've seen a lot of tutorials where the info is straight up wrong, and a lot of people just don't know. I know a lot of YouTube creators who are very against that, and I think that from like an influencer perspective of people doing unboxings and things like how my day went and stuff, like for them it can be pretty good, and I'm sure like I know they did it for the mental health of people getting dislikes, but from like an educational perspective and for people on YouTube trying to learn things, I think that is a horrible decision.
Yeah. Oh, I'm with you on that. Yeah, it's useful because it's not the comments section in YouTube perhaps isn't always the most useful. Sometimes you find a gem in there that's useful info, but a lot of the times it's not. But just that small, detail of seeing a dislike button on informational videos, which is what you are mentioning here, is incredibly useful because someone might see an informational video that has no dislikes and all likes, and then might assume that, well, I mean, this must be a video that people are relying on, and I can rely on the information from this video. You posted the screenshot of Rebecca Black's Friday, and you were like, "Oh, this must be a great song." 100% of the viewers hit the like button on this.
Yeah,
so,
a million likes.
yeah,
Yeah.
a million likes. So yeah, it must have
Yeah.
no critiques whatsoever on Rebecca Black's. On
And the
Rebecca
first
Black's
comment
Friday.
was like, "How did I end up here?" Which is like kind of funny, but it's like it doesn't tell you that it's a good or bad song. Like if you
Right.
saw that, if you were like new to America and you saw that, you might think that's like a huge hit song and not know that it's actually kind of a joke
Yeah.
and everyone makes fun of it.
Yeah.
So like it kind of the same thing applies. Like I literally was trying to like learn a guitar song last night, and I searched everywhere to find like the original version of how to play this song, and I realized it was just freaking impossible to find after they made this change, and I was so frustrated. I woke up this morning and made that video.
Right. Yeah. Playing all the wrong chords. Like you can't go out there on
Yeah.
stage playing the wrong chords and stuff like that. But you're like, oh, I got this from a video that had 100% likes though, so this must be the song. It must be my ears. That's
Yeah.
the problem. Yeah. Now, I want to talk, stemming off of that conversation about the content creation, getting the word out, and connecting with the community here. Daily High Club has done many collaborations over the years with, notable figures including Snoop Dogg, Tommy Chong, Silenced Hippie, Koala Puffs, and Mac Dizzle. In the cannabis industry, particularly, there's this special sort of importance and almost a pursuit by brands to become a part of the greater cannabis pop culture, or the zeitgeist of it all, looking back. The needle to thread there, of course, is that of genuinely gaining and utilizing pop cultural incorporation rather than, forcing it and or, leveraging it for company gain. I guess the phrase, for lack of a better term, is a culture vulture, if you will. So tell me about what it's like as someone who runs a company to sort of achieve that pop culture and company/corporate balance, and then what you do to sort of stay abreast of the evolving state of cannabis pop culture, which is ever changing, especially with the waves of legalization and the way the industry sort of shifts at the drop of a hat.
Yeah, it was definitely pretty difficult to get into pop culture. We really had to start with super small influencers. Sometimes people as small as like 300 followers, if you even call that an influencer, and really work our way up and grow with them. One of the first people we used was, or not used, collaborated with, was not even collaborated with. I think he just did an unboxing. It was Edwin from Third High Productions. That guy had 300
sure.
followers, and he did an unboxing for us. And I think he might have actually even bought the box, and then I believe we sent him boxes after that, and now he's at like 300,000 followers. So it was really cool to with some of these people really start at the ground floor, and grow with them. So it wasn't even we had to infiltrate the pop culture. It was like we were working with people who were becoming the pop culture. And from there, we were able to work our way up to people like Silenced Hippie. And eventually, it took a couple years to get to Chong. And from there, we had legitimacy to sponsor like Snoop Dogg events. But as far as the corporate versus like kind of startup mentality, when I started, it was just me originally alone. I made that Reddit post. I was the only person in the company at the time. And when it started out, it was like very like people on Reddit knew it was only me, and it was very grassroots. And it was interesting because we started growing and growing. And after 6 years, we have like 40 employees. We've shipped hundreds of thousands of bongs, and people don't really see us as that small one-man company anymore. They kind of see us as now like a big cannabis company. And we were acquired recently, which I felt like was the best move, because my 3 biggest competitors, or 3 out of the 5 biggest competitors that I had, were acquired by this company. And cannabis is getting very consolidated, and it really seemed like the the best and only path forward for Daily High Club and the best way to ensure success. So it was really weird kind of going from, and High Tide's a great company. They have like 800 employees, but going from this kind of one-man show that was very part of the community, and we still try to be part of the community, but like people definitely see us differently because we are now a very large organization and part of an even larger one. So we still try very hard to remember our roots and stay engaged with the community, but it is something that was very strange to me because I always was like, yeah, like screw these big businesses, and then kind of like it's inevitable that if you keep growing, you kind of become one. So we're trying to be different and still stay engaged and humble, but yeah, it's definitely something that we're working on every day.
Mm-hmm. Certainly, and I think the differentiator there might be the story of your founding and how it legitimately started with you and a Reddit post, and then grew from there. And then you made it a point, of course, not only to focus on the content creation, which engages the viewer base and the community, but also to partner with the creators directly. And as you mentioned, at the time at least, small creators, which may not have at the time the reach or the viewership, but from what I've found, the smaller content creators tend to care more about
Care more.
the
That's what I was gonna
quality of
say.
the content. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, there tends to be more of a passion there and a commitment to the quality of the content rather than of course the mid rolls and the ad revenue of it
Yeah,
all.
you're gonna get a lot farther with 100 small creators than one giant celebrity. Like the celebrity
Definitely,
probably
and
doesn't even care. Like
right,
yeah.
right, yeah, for sure. I mean, like how many companies and products do we see Shaq's face on? Like, do we really think that he cares that much about like Norwegian Cruise Line or
Yeah.
whatever? I think he saw him on a cruise line commercial the other day. I'm like, I don't think he's going on cruises anytime soon with the state of the world right now. But
And that's not
yeah,
to
and
say I was gonna say
yeah,
that's not to
please,
say the celebrities we worked with didn't care. We definitely have
oh, of
turned
course.
down some celebrities, some of them even bigger than any of the ones that we've publicly collabed with, just because like they were just like, yeah, put my name on it, whatever, and they weren't really gonna care about it, and it was just like we want people who are really part of the culture and do care.
Mm-hmm. And with that said, shout out to Third High Productions, man. That's a good reference. And Mass Roots, that was a
Yeah.
deep cut right there. I remember getting my Mass Roots stickers in the mail, man. That was a
Yeah.
time. I thought they were onto something. And among many reasons, because pop culture is sort of defined by the greater, overall human society, the importance of giving back and being involved in that community is extremely important, which y'all have also emphasized over at Daily High Club. I understand that Daily High Club has undertaken community initiatives, for example, for the LGBTQ communities and organizations, as well as for people incarcerated currently for cannabis crimes. In that same interview with Culture Hub, you said that you do want to get a bit more involved in social justice and connecting with our community. So, with that said, tell me about what community initiatives y'all may be working on now, and what else the company is looking forward to as we close out the year. I can't believe we're already in the last month of
Yeah.
2021. Did it even happen? Like, I don't even think we can prove it.
Yeah. So, yeah, in the past we did a collaboration with Mission Green, with Weldon Angeles. He spent 55 years in prison, or he got sentenced to 55 years in prison for $900 worth of weed. He served 13 years, and I think like Cory Booker, Snoop Dogg, and Obama got him out, if I'm getting that right. And I heard his story and was like instantly captivated as someone who's been very fortunate to not be in that situation. I really felt like that was something we needed to give back. So that's something that we set up, and I definitely don't see us getting rid of that collaboration anytime soon. I'd love to keep that going. And the LGBT box, over half our staff at one point was LGBT, and I personally had never seen a bong with the LGBT flag on it before, and we donated a percentage of profits to the LA LGBT Center, which I thought was really cool. And I'd love to get something like that going again. But the past couple months, actually the bulk of the year, we've been really, really busy transitioning the business to High Tide. But they also have a number of social justice initiatives that are ongoing that are really cool. The CEO, Raj, is very passionate about World Vision and sponsors, I believe, over 200 children and 2 more for every store that they open up in Canada. So that's something that we'd really love to get involved with going forward, and kind of doubling down on what we've been doing in the past. And we try not to get like too deep into the weeds of politics, because at the end of the day we're a bong company, and I don't know if people are going to a bong company for all their news and such, but we definitely, when we see an injustice in society, try to point it out. We were we posted about George Floyd like very close within an hour of when Nike did, and we were really we weren't like, oh shit, Nike did it. We were just like we had planned to do this like really, really quickly, and we did, and we're kind of at the forefront of brands speaking up and saying something, which I was really proud of.
Mm-hmm. Certainly, I think that the greater cannabis community and the wide array of cannabis consumers out there from all walks of life, there tends to be a general knowledge that they can eventually sort of suss out the true, genuine intentions from those who may or may not just be sort of looking at them as a bottom line or a profit margin there. I think time will tell, and time will, if you forgive my pun, will weed out the genuine companies from the less than genuine companies, and I certainly think y'all will find yourselves on the right side of that. So Harrison, thank you so much for your time and for offering all of your perspective. I certainly wish y'all all the best over at Daily High Club.
Likewise.
With all that you've got going on lately. Yeah, thank you so much for your time, man. Please continue to be well and stay safe out in Santa Monica, man. I love it out there.
Yeah, absolutely. Likewise to you.
Yeah, yes, indeed. If you're in Orange County, certainly look me up. I'll show you a good Korean hot pot place, man.
Yeah, I'm down. Send me your Instagram. I'll take you up on that.
Got you, man. Yeah. I'll hit you up after the show right here. Thanks so much.
All right, sounds good. Thank you guys for having me.
Absolutely. Harrison Baum, everybody. Thank you all so much for watching, liking, commenting, and subscribing. I'm your host, RJ Balde, and I will catch y'all in the next one. Peace out. Hey everybody, thanks for checking out our channel. Click here to watch another episode of Hash It Out. To find more cannabis industry reporting, insider stories, and to stay up to date on the latest trends, make sure to subscribe and keep up with our TRICHOMES community app. Download it now for free, and we'll see you there.